Hi everyone, welcome back to I Create For You. Since we got done with the Haunted Pets book, I went to the library and got another book. It's called Lighthouse Ghosts and Legends. So I will be putting these in between the ones from the Berks County Ghosts from Charles Adams Ghost Stories. This one that we've been working on. So it has like 18, I believe. 18 stories. So I'm going to read the introduction, and then throughout our journey of ghost stories, I will be interjecting these ones as well. The introduction to this book is, as lighthouse enthusiasts will attest, there's just something about lighthouses that fascinates us, something more than the proud legacy for which they stand, something more than their example of man's ingenuity or their reminder of nature's indifference, something that captures the imagination. In early American coastal life, some degree of fascination with lighthouses was necessary. After all, families depended on sea trade. Whole communities revolved around it. Husbands, sons, brothers took to the sea, becoming sailors or fishermen, and the generations who came to rely on the mercy of the deep prayed for a light in the storm. Over the years, this prayer grew into a crusade to shine a light on our nation's coasts. One by one, lights like Hendricks Head, Nedick Nubble, and Carysfort Reef sprang up as if in answer to a clarion call. These lights and others like them, up and down the Atlantic and Pacific coast, truly were saviors to the ships that passed in the night, to the wives and children of the seamen aboard the ships, and to the merchants expecting a swift and safe delivery of their goods. The lights shouldered the burden of the coastal life, and in so doing became larger than life. To the early American families who lived and died by the tide, lighthouses represented hope and perseverance. All eyes were on them. Ironically, lighthouse keepers, often altogether cut off from society, were quite literally at the center of this societal preoccupation. As a matter of course, people who were anxious about their duties became curious about their lives, not only where they lived, but how they lived. Of course, public interest didn't often translate into public empathy. Much has been made of the profound loneliness suffered by lighthouse keepers and their families, and many tales have been told of these desperate individuals going mad from isolation and taking their own or others' lives. They were constant fixtures in the consciousness of their communities, but this was likely of little consolation to them on cold and desolate nights when the light and the task of tending it were their only companions. Yet clearly lighthouse keepers had some sense of their consequence and the consequence of their charge. After all, on an almost daily basis, they risked life and limb in the name of duty. Tales abound of their courage, their loyalty, and their humanity. Even when their names have been forgotten, their stories have not. In this way, they've remained, as they always were, a subject of profound curiosity, woven forever into the fabric of legend and local lore. Today, much has changed. We no longer rely on the lighthouses to the degree we once did. A sailor's life no longer revolves around the dangers of the deep and the mercy of Mother Nature. Ships' captains chart their courses with computers, according to satellite-generated weather forecasts and technological advances like sonar and radar have made the warning lights of many a tower more or less obsolete. 200 years ago, lighthouses were popping up all along America's coasts. These days, the trend is reversed. The lights are going out. But though many a powerful beam has been darkened, the power of lighthouses over us has not been dimmed. We are fascinated still by these strong sentinels, the tragedies and triumphs they must have seen. Undoubtedly, after more than 200 years, they have stories yet to tell, and there are stories still to be told of them, as well as mysteries to be solved. In the end, with all of their intrigue, there is little wonder that lighthouses fascinate us. All we have to do is consider their great service to our country and the unending devotion they inspired in those who served them. Perhaps because they were at the center of coastal life for so many years, there is an energy that surrounds them still, some sort of centrifugal force that draws one eye and then the imagination. It's as if somewhere in our subconscious we sense the steady pulse of their beacons calling us into port. And so, apparently, do the wanderings and restless spirits whose tales fill the pages of this book, like ships lost at sea, they are also drawn into the light. And that's the introduction. My one, how could I say this movie that I remember watching as a kid was called The Fog, and that had to do with a lighthouse keeper. Yeah, that was just a strange. I think it was I haven't watched it in forever since I was young. I believe there was like a DJ who would broadcast out of one of the lighthouses. Anyway, and then the fog rolled in, and then you heard the. So you have to check that out. And if I'm wrong about that, the DJ in the lighthouse, let me know in the comments below. My memory's not what it used to be, but that was a cool movie. So I thought I'd give you a heads up, and this is where we're going to be going next. And I hope you can give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm almost at 50. I'm almost there. I'm at 49, so just teetering on the 50. Let's see if I can get there. Actually, I'd like to have a goal of 100, but I don't know how many I have to have lives, but I am going to look into it. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next ghost story. Bye-bye.